Yes, and welcome in here on WCMP. We are an inning and a half through this Section 7 AA championship between Esko and Rush City. Esko holds a 1-0 lead as they scored in the first inning on a pass ball. So Rush City trying to get one back. We have number 8, Aubrey Gerard. Or is that 9? No, that is 9. Kira Leach on the mound for Esko. Number 15, Kaylin Glenna at the plate. She'll hit the first one down the third base line into the glove of the third baseman over to first on a 5-3 putout to start out the bottom of the second inning. Esko up 1-0. This is a double elimination format. That pitch is inside and high. So it'll be 1-0 count with one out. Rush City just needs to take one of the two. Leach's second is in there for a strike on the outside corner. Pitch is hit down the third base line by number 21, Addison Atkinson, but does not beat out the throw. So it'll be 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Megan Nelson at the plate. First pitch is fouled off the leg of Nelson. So it'll be an 0-1 count here in the bottom of the second. 2 down. Pitch is swung on and missed, making it 0-2 for Nelson. The 0-2 is hit to the second baseman over to first on a 4-3 putout, and that'll do it for the second inning. So after 2, Esko holds a 1-0 lead over Rush City. If Esko were to win here in this one, we will play another one. We'll just do it again. But if Rush City were to win, Rush City will be moving on to the state tournament. State tournament after Bram defeated West Lutheran 8-1 to move on. Kendall Pillar will be on the mound for the Tigers. Bryn Christensen will be up to bat for Esko. And we get going real quick here in the top of the third. Swung out. Here in Pillar's first batter of the third. Esko swung on and missed. A 3-pitch strikeout for Kendall Pillar.
Third baseman number 1, Lucy Barta.
So 1 down here in the third. Pitches inside to Lucy Barta. Swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Pillar's pitch is high, but offered at. Making it 1-2. Swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the second out.
Shortstop number 3, Clara Swanson.
Clara Swanson, excuse me, will be up to bat. 2 down here in the third, in the top of the third. Esko leads 1-0. In there for a strike, gets the inside corner. Swung on and missed, and that will do it for the top of the third. Rush City will get another chance as 1-0 here in the middle of the third. Leach has been pitching lights out here in the early going. And Rush City is still trying to figure her out. Up for the Tigers is number 5, Ashlyn Simmons. Pitches inside, making it 1-0 on Swanson. Or Simmons, excuse me. The 1-0 pitch is high, making it 2-0. Pitch is high, making it 3-0. So we'll see if Simmons has given the green light, or if Rush City wants that base runner. The 3-0, low and inside, and that's going to put Simmons at first.
Center fielder number 9, Peyton Addix.
Peyton Addix up to bat for the Tigers with runner on first. Bunt. She'll pull back, and it'll be low and inside, making the count 1-0. Esko leads 1-0. Addix once again showing bunt. Pulls back. In there for a strike. With 1 down, and number 18, Natalie. In there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Outside. evening the count at 1 apiece. 1 down. Runner on second here in the bottom of the third. Esko leads 1-0. Swung on and missed by Rude, making the count 1-2. Swung on and missed. And that'll be the second out with number 2, Kendall Pillar.
Pitcher number 2, Kendall Pillar.
Trying to get a 2-out hit for the Tigers with the runner in scoring position. Leach winds up in the pitch. It's outside. 1-0. The 1-0 hits the outside corner, making it 1-1. The pitch outside. Hitters count 2-1 for Pillar. Leach grabs a rosin bag, throws it back down. And the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. Full count on Pillar. The pitch, foul back. Kendall Pillar, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Esko up 1-0. Swung on and missed. And that'll do it for the third inning.
Bottom of the third inning summary, no runs on the hit.
Esko wearing the blue jerseys with the gold pinstripes, gold socks, gold belt. Rush City in their blacks. Blue numbers with gold outline. Three section championships this afternoon in our local area. Bram defeated West Lutheran this afternoon down in St. Paul at Northwestern College, 8-1.
Second baseman number 10.
Rush City trying to follow their rivals to the state tournament. Number 10, Hannah Raymer, up to bat. Pitch is high, 1-0. The 1-0 swung on and missed, evening the count at 1 apiece. Kira Leach on deck for Esko. Pillar's pitch is high, 2-1. On Romer. On and missed. Evening the count at 2 apiece. Pitch to Romer is in there, swung on and missed. So first one is down on strikes. Kira Leach get in the box. Pitcher's duel here. Swung on and missed. 0-1 is the count. Top of the fourth. Esko leads 1-0. Outside, evening the count at 1 apiece. In there for a strike. One-two count on Leach. Pillar checks her wrist. Swung on and missed. And that'll be the second out here in the top of the fourth.
Center fielder number 21, Ellie Barta.
Ellie Barta will be up to bat for Esko. Swung on and missed. 0-1 is the count. And making the trek up from St. Paul, Ethan Game Day Gilman. We're doing the same thing.
Yes.
You followed me.
Yes, I did. But I'm happy to be here, happy to be a part of this game, and excited to be here.
Count is 1-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. Esko leads 1-0 after a run in the first.
I'm not too surprised that this game is only 1-0, that these two teams are battling in a defensive game. It's not real surprising, but a little surprising that Rush City hasn't been able to get their bats going. Remember last time they beat this team in Esko 10-0 in 5 innings. So a little surprising to see that offense kind of lacking a little bit here, at least early on.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to figure out Kira Leach quite yet. So we'll see if they'll be able to do that here in the fourth inning. But we are still in the top half, and that pitch is high, filling the count here with 2 outs.
Well, getting this out would obviously be huge for the Tigers, and then they can get back and get to try and get some offense rolling.
Swung on, hit into foul territory, but it'll be out of play.
Yeah, these players are, I mean, they know what's on the line. And, for Rush, you can't fall into that sense of maybe relax or
right.
ease because there's a second chance urgency, especially late here as we see ball 4.
Yeah. On a walk.
Catcher number 4, Riley Duravec.
Riley Duravec will go up to bat for Esko. So now Esko has a runner on with 2 outs.
And, this is okay for Rush City because there's still 2 outs. You really don't have to worry about that batter at first as we see a bunt go foul there. But you really don't got to worry too much about the batter or the runner at first, I should say, just because, it's not too big of a threat with 2 outs.
Right, not quite yet at least. That bunt was a little risky.
Yeah,
as it went in the air, and Rude didn't quite have a chance at it, but it was close.
Yeah, that's the risky run with a bunt is if you don't get low on it, you're running the risk to pop that thing up as we see a throw down to second, but now she's in there with the steal.
Yeah, Ellie Barta will get into scoring position.
This was kind of the case for Rush City there on Tuesday. Not much good. They did get a run there in the first, but then nothing really. They held a one before they were able to, pile on the runs in the next 2 innings. But so far here, struggling against the pitcher for Esko, and they're going to have to turn it around quickly as that one's going to leave the infield, and that could score a run. Oh, it will score a run now with the error.
Yeah, it gets past below the right fielder's glove, and Esko takes a 2-0 lead.
Well, and that's the thing here, especially in the playoffs. You can't have errors. You just simply can't. We've seen it in our game at Northwestern St. Paul, where West Lutheran had a couple errors, and what did that turn into? It turned into runs, and it's just in these big games, you simply cannot afford to have mistakes. It's easier said than done, obviously, but these are the games where you have to play dang near perfect.
And those things tend to snowball.
Yeah, and
Now the inning is extended.
And that's the unfortunate part about it is, yeah, it extends the inning, and not only that, you put a runner back on second as well.
Brooklyn McGibbon up to bat for Esko, the lefty. In there for a strike.
You know, I'm noticing a really common theme with the teams that we've been calling here lately, Adam. They're all really young.
Yes.
They are all really
Very young.
The top 4 in the sections that we cover are going to be dang near all the same in seeding-wise the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a chance to be something really special in our local area. It already is.
Yeah. We've got one team that's headed to state, and Bram, congrats to them.
Swung on, hit foul and out of play into the Esko dugout.
You know, for Rush, you know, this isn't ideal.
No, you're already down 2-0 against a pitcher that you haven't.
I mean, you know, this is a home game for Esko in reality. I mean, would they have to go 10 miles? You know, so this is almost not fair for the Tigers. They've had to here while also going to Virginia last week for play. Easy for Rush City. I mean, you might think, oh, well, you're just traveling. Well, there's a lot that goes into it. So may that play a factor here? I don't know. I think it might be, you know, ever so slightly.
Pitch is foul back, making it 1-2 here with 2 down. Runner still on second. Esko holds a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, this is important for the Tigers. They need to get out of this inning with, you know, this out. They have to make this out. Otherwise, it like you said, it's going to snowball. And luckily, their Pillar gets another strikeout.
Yeah, Pillar strikes out for the 3rd out. But Esko does get a run in, making the score 2-0 here in the bottom of or the middle of the 4th, I suppose. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th.
And looking at Pillar, you know, she's obviously probably the best pitcher in this section. But, you know, they're going to have to turn it up a notch. And you know, unfortunately, a few of the pitches she's thrown have been left out over the plate. And sometimes you're forced to do that because, well, you're just not able to get anything by. So right now they're going to have to find offense, and they're going to have to find it quickly because, again, yes, there is a game 2 if they lose, but
you don't want to get there.
Momentum does Esko take then going into that one? So if you're Rush, you don't got to start swinging at everything for the fences, but you're going to have to start being a little bit more aggressive.
Absolutely. So leading off for Rush City will be number 3, Kenzie Simmons. Talk about young, 8th grader. Doesn't even have a title.
Nope. No, I mean, the thing with this Rush City team is they don't rebuild, they reload.
Yeah.
And they've been doing that for the last 10 years now since they have last not won the conference title. So they've been doing it for years now, and it's not surprised to see an 8th grader up on the varsity squad.
Simmons shows bunt, but pulls back in time as the pitch is low and inside for ball 1.
And, you know, Kenzie Simmons obviously new to varsity, or excuse me, she's not new to varsity. She did get a varsity letter last year, so whatever you got to do to qualify for that, she did. And as you mentioned, an 8th grader, she does a lot, though, for this team. First, outfield, and even can come back at catcher, so she does a lot for this team.
That pitch was on the inside corner, and Simmons will hit it to
Beatable.
short. Does she have enough speed?
Yes,
she
she
does. Ball gets past the first baseman, but Simmons does not test it. So
yeah,
Rush City is on with a leadoff runner.
Well, that's huge because, first of all, Simmons, whether that throw was on or not, she would have beat it. I mean, she's just got that type of speed. But now you turn it to Lola Mold. we talked about Bram, how they have some power. This lineup right here has a lot of young players, but has a ton of power. Lola Mold is one of those power hitters.
Her batting stance just screams power.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a catapult. Pitch is low and inside.
Yeah, and the thing with Rush City right now is you know, obviously I haven't been here for the first 3.5 innings, so I don't know what's gone on. But, you know, patience is going to be key. But as we mentioned, going to have to start being a little bit more aggressive. So some patient aggression, if you will.
Right. And that pitch is high. The count is 2-0.
Well, and that's a good start. You make this pitcher throw a few more. I mean, how many times do we talk about it, though, that sometimes you just need to make a pitcher throw a few more pitches?
Right. That pitch is outside. 3-0, and I wonder if Mold is going to get the green light or not.
I feel like only down 2 runs, probably not here, because she would be the tying run on base. So I feel like you don't give her the green light at this point.
In there for a strike. Got that inside corner.
Ooh, just did. I mean, that was, wow. That was close. That was close.
The 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Hit to
double
short.
Play ball.
Simmons able to get to second.
Wow.
Mold did get the ball in play and was able to move the runner along. So a productive out.
Yeah, she was out, but they advanced the runner, and I thought it was, it's not funny, but it's comical how fast Simmons is.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't even throw it a second because they're like, you're already there. What do I do?
Kaylin Glenna up to bat for the Tigers.
It's another power hitter, but not only that, she's a 2-time defensive MVP for this team. Ooh, good eye.
Pitch is low. 1-0 is the count. One down here in the bottom of the fourth. Esko leads 2-0. Rush City desperately wants Simmons to get across the plate. Swung on, hit up the middle. Leach able to grab it and throw it to first for the putout.
Well, the only good part of that was he advanced the runner to third.
Yeah, another productive out, but is it going to be enough?
Right. Addison Antonsen now at the plate. Now you get a lefty up there against a right-handed pitcher. This at least could, you know, because of her being in the left-handed batter's box, at least this might provide a little bit of something different.
Pitch is high.
For the pitcher to have to look at.
Rush City getting a little something going here in the fourth. Starting to figure out Leach, but Leach still has the upper hand.
Right.
Pitch is in there. No, they're going to say it was low.
Yeah, that looked just a tad low. Good eye there.
So 2-0 is the count on Antonsen. The pitch to Antonsen is hit wide of third base. Look out.
Well, coach down there had to do a little getaway. She's down at third, but again, you've got these last 3 batters that are really strong hitters, and we've seen it down in St. Paul. If you hit the ball hard enough, sometimes the glove might not be enough to hold on to it. So
we saw that a couple times.
Yeah, just because you get a glove on it doesn't mean that it's going to be enough to hold on to the ball. So maybe she can hit one hard enough. Ooh.
Swung on, and that was ball 3, but she swung on it.
Well, and
anyways, fouled it back.
It's tough because that was a rising fastball, and sometimes you can lean back on those and launch it with that launch angle, but that was one of those that was too high in the zone to do that.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled away.
She
We'll do it again.
Alive.
Stays alive.
That's all you can ask for.
Simmons is on third. 2 down, though, in Antonsen. Trying to get that runner across. Esko spotted 2 runs here in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch is outside.
Good eye. Good eye.
Fills the count for Antonsen.
I mean, that was not easy to lay off of there for Antonsen.
Swung on and fouled away once again.
You're making her throw a lot more. That's all you can really ask for because, then you make her think twice.
Right.
Oh.
Pitch is swung on and missed. And that'll do it for the 4th inning. Esko leads 2-0 here as we head to the 5th inning. Quick game.
Yeah, I was getting up here and I was making some pretty good time and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get there. It's only gonna be maybe 1 or 2 innings done, and then you messaged me and I was like, it's the what?
Yeah.
So,
Move along.
we've got this.
So Rush City and Pillar trying to stifle the, well, I want to say Eskimos, but Esko.
Yeah, they haven't decided on a name yet, which is interesting.
And that's one way to put it. So if you're Pillar, I think it's time that it isn't time to panic yet. You're doing fine. I don't want to say Esko has gotten some lucky hits, which they haven't. It's due to a lot of hard work and smart play, but nothing's really been hit hard.
Yeah, and that's a positive. It's just, you got to make sure that you're making the plays in the field, and because that really can change an entire game. So the plays in the field are, if you're not getting strikeouts, are obviously the most important thing.
Hit to first and over the glove of Glenna.
Yep, and that's it right there. I mean, those are the things that just can't happen. I mean, yes, now let's be fair. A lot of people would have missed that one.
Yeah.
But as in the game like this, you've got 2 innings left. You can't afford to put runners on for Esko. They kind of like a shark. They smell blood in the water.
Yeah.
They might start to pull away.
Adkins on first with a leadoff single. Will be subbed for a courtesy runner. Kennedy will stand on first base. Bryn Christensen will be up to bat for Esko.
Now running at first base for Esko, number 5, Kennedy Fox.
Yeah, so nobody out and a runner on already. And I mean, we know you don't get to this point without having good hitters. And
Right.
so it's when you're looking at a team like Esko, it's hard to spot a weak spot.
Show one bunt, and it gets past the second baseman, or it's second baseman, and Fox will reach third on the air.
I think the Tigers need a timeout. This is I mean, it's kind of sloppy.
It
you
is
know,
sloppy.
and, now, Rude has an arm to make that out there, but in a game where you're down 2-0, nobody out, trying to throw out a runner at second, I think is a little bit aggressive at this point because you run the risk of her now going to third. And now one swing brings her home, whether it's an out or not.
Yeah, and Fox had a really good lead and had a really good jump. So Christensen showing bunt.
This could help.
And it does. It'll be bunted in the air and caught by Antonsen.
Well,
So that'll be Rush City gets a gift.
yeah, like I
there.
talked about, if you don't get your bat above the ball to bunt that thing down, you're going to pop it up. They gave him a gift.
Lucy Barta up to bat. Showing bunt in the 2-0 is the score here in the top of the 5th in favor of Esko.
You can see Rush City third baseman is in. First is staying put. So maybe expecting a bunt here.
In there for a strike. Got the inside corner. And the count is now 0-2.
I think they gave him one back for the last inning. Well, getting a strikeout here goes, I mean, a long ways to climbing that mountain.
Swung on and fouled away down the third base line. So the count remains 0-2. The pitch. High. Waste, I believe that was a waste pitch. Trying to make Barta offer at something she shouldn't. But count is now 1-2. Pitch is inside, and the count is even at 2 apiece.
This is really unfortunate. You know, we know how good this Tiger team is, but just something not going right now. And sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes that's just what happens. But this is all of a sudden now 3 balls in a row. And
Barta has forced a full count now after being down 0-2.
yeah, something we don't see real often from this Tiger team.
In there,
Oof.
got her looking.
Oh, I can't tell you how far that goes to helping them get out of this inning.
You're right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, any out now keeps that run off the board, and you're only still down 2-0 with 2 innings. 1-1. There you go,
Yep.
and then you're back in it. So that was big for the Tigers.
Clara Swanson will be up to bat. Swung on and missed. Pillar has that rising fastball that is just torture for batters.
Yeah, it's hard to catch up to. It's one of the best in the section.
Showing bunt, and it'll be fouled away. And
Forces 0-2. Now she has to swing. So you would get a really good chance for Pillar to get her 1,600 in her career.
that'll work.
Nice
To short,
grab.
and
Got her.
in time, and Rush City avoids trouble as Esko got a runner to third with nobody out and escaped without allowing a run. So the score remains 2-0, half of the 5th.
Yeah, that's huge because again, 2-0 is way different. That's huge because again, 2-0 is way different than 3-0.
Yes.
Other than just one run, you know, so this could hopefully go a long ways in helping them get back into this one.
But on the other hand, you still have Kira Leach on the mound, and she has been lights out here this afternoon so far.
She has, but you know, we've seen Rush get a couple of bats on the you know, I think they just need to see the pitches better. Just be seeing the pitches better. Don't go up there thinking you're going to swing or not. Just go up there looking at the pitch. Because sometimes I think players go up, I got to get on, instead of just worrying about one pitch at a time. So I think for them, again, easier said than done.
Right.
But go up there just looking at one pitch at a time. If you get one, swing at it and put it into play. And then worry what you got to do about after the fact.
Number 20, Megan Nelson will step into the box.
Second baseman number 20, Megan Nelson.
In there for a strike, making the count 0-1. On the mound. Swung on, fouled away.
And kind of like Esko, Rush, even though they're able to get, you know, a hit, they're not hitting it real hard.
It seems like Rush City is just trying to catch up to it. The 0-2 swung on and missed. And Nelson goes down swinging.
Yeah, she was confused from the get-go on that one. She didn't know whether to swing or not. And when you see a late swing like that, and then they go back frustrated, you much different. And like I said, it's easier said than done, but you got to go into those spots not thinking, you know, hit or swing or whatever. You got to go in just looking at the pitch.
In there for a strike, 0-1.
Well, one down, and the Tigers, it's almost time to start swinging.
Taking a little bit off of it, but it goes inside. In there for a strike. So the count is 1-2, one down.
You know, as much as Rush City likes to be patient at the plate, is there such thing as being too patient at this point?
There is, as that one is fouled away.
It kind of feels like they're waiting for that one pitch, and then they're missing out on some decent pitches to swing at.
And Leach is showing some changeups that are something you can work with.
Right.
Pitch is low for ball 2.
I can't tell you how hard that would have been to lay off of.
One down. Excuse me, as puberty hits me. One down. Count is knotted up at 2. Simmons will hit it over the first baseman, and it'll land fair.
Nice. Well, that's big for the Tigers. I mean, 1 down, and now you get a runner on. So, and now you're getting close to the top of the order. Now you're right at 9. You're at the 9-hole batter now with Peyton Addix coming to the plate. So now you get a chance to turn the order over and really start to get back into this one.
Addix showing bunt. Pulls back. Pitches inside and low. 1-0 the count on Addix. She'll show bunt once again. Pulls back. In there for a strike. And running is Simmons. Got her.
Oh, that was close. And I mean closer than close.
So that is the second out for Rush City.
Man, I don't know if we hear some of the fans. I would.
So now, just like that, and Addix is up. Counts missed for the second strike.
Well, that hurts a lot. But we've seen some 2-out magic. Let's see if the Tigers can't get some 2-out magic, because one hit here, your pitcher Pillar, that turns this game around.
Pitches inside. Swung on.
Oh.
To third base. Over to first in time on the 6-3 putout.
I thought that might get underneath the glove, but she did a really good job of making that grab there at third. Give her credit.
We'll be back here on WCMP after word from some of our sponsors. To get here in Cloquet. Can't hate watching softball on a beautiful May afternoon. And a roamer up to bat for Esko. Swung on and missed.
Nice. Got a piece of it, but right into the glove of Rude. And the Tigers, they need a quick top of an inning, and then they need to go get back offensively.
Swung on to the pitcher. There's Pillar over to first in time. A 1-3 put out.
Field sounds a little bit hard.
Yeah.
It's bouncing that ball quite a bit. I guess the good thing for the Tigers is this, when they get to offense, it's the top of the order. So you can kind of look to Rude and Pillar, your kind of your leaders of this team, to say, hey, it's up to you now. We need you.
Pitch is fouled back by Kira Leach. So pitcher on pitcher violence right now.
These are always fun at-bats for me, because I enjoy this just to kind of see how they're going to go about each other, because as a pitcher, I always feel like you kind of get a better idea of what's coming your way with a different pitcher. You know, that's not always the case, but I feel like you can get an idea of what's coming in the count instead of just, okay, do I swing or not, you know?
Count is 0-2, one down. Swung on to third. Nice grab over to first in time. Whew.
Well, that's a quick 2 outs. That's what you need if you're Rush City. Now, you just need one more. I mean, it's obviously not going to be easy. You've got Ellie Barta to the plate now, but
Antonsen with quite the grab there on the third base line.
yeah, Antonsen is a really, really good third base player. She is, again, one-time varsity letter winner last year, by the way, as a freshman.
That'll work. Yeah, Ellie Barda will take the first one in for a strike. So 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Esko holding on to a 2-0 lead. Pitch is high. If Esko holds on to win this one, there will be a second game. However, if Rush City is able to come back and steal this one, that'll do it, and Rush City will be state bound.
It doesn't matter how you win it, just that you win it.
Swung on and missed.
They have to win it ugly. That's what they got to do. I mean, this is certainly a winnable game. Neither of these teams are you know, just this juggernaut of a team that nobody's beat all year. Obviously, teams have beat them, so they're beatable. But for Rush City, I think they just got to get back to Rush City softball. I think they're a little out of their element right now and ahead of themselves. So I think they just need to get back as we see a strikeout there looking.
Yeah, Ellie Barda will strike out for the third out of the top of the 6th. We'll be back with the bottom half here on WCMP after word from some of our sponsors. Yes, and welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Ethan Game Day Gilman here for our second section championship of the day.
We could have had 3.
Could have had
one
3.
more person. Could have had 3.
Just needed one more person.
We're happy to be out here, and
I'll split myself in half. And
there we go. There we go.
no, Bram was able to punch their ticket to the state tournament with an 8-1 victory over West Lutheran down at Northwestern College. Pitch is outside to Natalie Root.
We also got Chisago Lakes playing in North Branch right now against Rock Ridge. Chisago.
Is that good?
I don't know. Is that good? I don't know. I was going to ask you.
Can't lose if you don't allow a run. Think about it. Rude. And a 1-0 count. Swung on, foul back.
That was a late decision there to swing on that when she realized it was a good pitch too late. And
they just have not figured Leach
yeah,
out.
And in the time that I've been here, I can just tell, you know, they're just not at what they're swinging in just because of how well Leach is doing.
The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Over to the second
oh,
baseman.
Well, that'll help.
And it'll be an error. E4 as
Oh,
Rude
go. What are you
will
doing?
reach. And she'll think about heading to second, but
ooh, that would have been
that would have been a good spot for Rude to head over to second to get into scoring position.
And
but
you know, to be fair, she's just getting on.
Right.
Which is the smart thing to do.
Not forcing anything.
If it was Pillar, who has got a little bit more speed, maybe. But with Rude, you know she's that. I struggle to believe she's only a sophomore in the sports she plays. But she is. She's only a sophomore.
Pillar will foul it back. 0-1 the count. Nobody out. Leadoff runner is on first.
Yeah, when I figured out Pillar was a sophomore last year, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. But yeah, only a junior.
Pillar showing bunt, missed it. It'll be 0-2.
Shrugged her shoulders, kind of went, that's all right. But this is big. Now you have to put this one in play.
You want to get Root over.
I mean, at the very least, make her throw a few more and
swung on and missed, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
It's that rising fastball. I seen it as soon as it came out of Leach's hand. I wanted to say, like, here comes a riser, and unfortunately, Pillar, I think what she thought was it was going to go high, and then it wound up staying in the strike zone, and unfortunately just swung too late.
Kenzie Simmons up to bat with 1 out. Rude on base, showing bunt, gets it down.
Oh, man.
And a go foul.
Well,
Although
good spot for it.
Lucy Barta was waiting for it.
She was, but that's a tough throw.
It is, especially with the speed of Simmons.
And
Simmons, both Simmons.
Yes, and not only that, you got to throw it kind of at an angle to make sure that it doesn't get into the run. It's an easy throw by any stretch of the imagination.
The 0-1 pitch. Simmons showing bunt once again, pulls back, swings, misses. 0-2 is the count.
This is less than ideal for the Tigers. Again, you're running out of strikes to give here in this game.
Simmons shows bunt, pulls back.
Well, that should
hits it into foul territory and caught by the first baseman. Number 2, Bryn Christensen.
Well, here's Lola Mold, and she's been in these playoffs. She's been a clutch 2-out hitter, and you're going to need more than clutch here. You need to make Leach throw a few more pitches. That's for certain. But you also you got to get some sort of confidence for these batters. I just looking at them out there, it doesn't seem like they have that Tiger spunk, if you will.
0-1 the count. 2 down. Esko leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Swung on, hit to short. Shortstop is there to first in time for the 6-3 put out.
Oh boy.
So 6 done, heading to the final inning here on WCMP. We'll be back with the 7th inning here on WCMP after a word from some of our sponsors. Heading into the 7th inning, Esko leads 2-0 here in the top of the 7th.
You know, and for Rush, whether you win this one or not, you need to get something going offensively in the bottom of this inning, because more than likely, the way it's going, we're probably going to see game 2.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get something going offensively to take into game 2.
I think you need a clean half inning here, too, defensively.
Yeah, and they haven't played terrible. There are certain things that they do need to clean up, yeah.
The first pitch is foul back. Number 4, Riley Duravec up to bat for Esko.
You know, baseball and softball are so kind of funny at times, because you get a game like this, and earlier in the playoffs you had Rush City beat.
Yeah.
Then you get to a game like this, and it's 2 runs scored total through 6 innings, and Esko's winning. It's just the back and forth of this sport is so intriguing. And
wild.
It is, and that's why people keep coming around and watching. It's because you do get that. And she swung at that, fouled it.
Yeah, Duravec didn't mean to.
Nope.
But it hit the bat anyway, so that means it is a foul ball. Count is 0-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Swung on and missed for the first out. Took something off of it.
Well, and this is unfortunate for Rush. Not that they can't get it done in game 2 if that's what they need, but Pillar went in this game, so she's not going to be able to go a full game if they have game 2. But that now allows you to switch it up a little bit, and Esko has to look at Rude, which they haven't seen. So whether that's a benefit for Rush or not, I would like to think that it is.
Cadence gone. Will pinch hit for Esko. The sophomore. One down. Swung on and missed for the first strike. As the cloud cover is reaching us.
Well, Game Day Gilman, your local meteorologist, will go ahead and check the weather here. It's partly cloudy and 76 right now. Wind of 10 miles an hour, humidity at 26%.
Swung on and missed for the second strike.
She's getting that one right at the letters, right at that spot where you're struggling to decide whether to swing or not. And I think she's just making them swing, unfortunately.
And now is the time where she normally takes something off of it and pulls the string. In there for a strike.
Nice.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Didn't necessarily need to do anything fancy with that one. Just get it in there. Yeah, so no rain looking like it's going to come our way, so we should be good if we have game 2. Looks like we might get a sprinkler too, but we should be good for a game 2 if needed. We're still on the side that Rush is going to win this game.
Pitch is fouled back by number 7, Emma Adkins. Two seniors on this Esko team, Riley Durovec and Amber Laurie. That one is in there for the second strike. And for Rush City, there's one, Peyton Addicks.
Yep. And look at Greenway, 2. And then you look at Aiken. They only have a couple. It's just it's crazy to think about. This one right to the first baseman.
Yeah, right to number 15, Kaylin Glenna, and she just steps on the bag for the third out.
Wow.
So we are heading to the bottom of the 7th inning in Rush City's last chance. We'll be back with that here on WCMP after word from some of our sponsors. Welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Game Day Gilman here in Cloquet, our second of a 2-pack of section championships. Esko leading Rush City 2-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. So Rush City's last chance here in the first game.
And we talked about having a clean top of the half inning. They did that. Now can they get something going offensively? Again, even if they don't win it, just get some positivity for game 2.
Kaylin Glenna up to bat as that one goes high. It'll be 1-0 on Glenna.
Well, make her throw a few more pitches. You'll probably see her for the first half of next game too. So make her get uncomfortable. Well, that's not a
hit
great
high
start.
up in the air, fouled away, staying alive.
That's all you can ask for at this point. And again, you're making Leach throw a few more pitches than probably she would like to here in this second at bat. So get into her head a little bit, get it maybe 1 or 2 runners on base, and then make her second guess her pitching.
Oh, hit right in front of the plate. And the catcher to first.
I thought it had almost hit the plate, honestly.
The 2-3 put out. And we are down to our final out of the first game. in the form of Megan Nelson.
Hold on. Hold on. And, got my rally hat on. Here we go. This is the start. This is it.
God, that is so big. I can't even get.
Blocks the sun.
Yeah.
Here it comes. 3 runs right here, right in a row.
Just one at bat.
All 3 inside the park home runs too. Watch this.
Swung on and missed. 0-1 is the count.
That's just a good pitch there from Leach. That's just a really good pitch.
Pitch is outside, evening the count at 1 apiece.
A good eye there from Nelson. If anything, you're just dragging this game on a little bit and forcing Leach to.
They need a base runner. Swung on and missed.
Yeah, I think the Tigers just need a reset.
That wasn't a confident swing.
No, and it seems like throughout the lineup it hasn't been super confident, which is really unfortunate, but sometimes you just need to lose one to get back to the next game and go, okay, well, we don't like that. And
Swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the first one. And Esko has knotted things up, and we will head to a winner-take-all.
Well, again, not the worst thing in the world if you're rested eat, only because if you win, if you go into this one, you know that, hey, okay, we can't lose, and you also know you've beat this team 10-0 in 5 innings before. So, you know, you probably won't see Leach for the entire game. You won't see Pillar for the entire game. You're switching things up. I take Rush in this just because I think they can get things going a little bit quicker here in game 2.
Well, you have Rude, who has the ability to hit the mound, and yeah, I don't know what Esko has in their pen, but Rude can't be mad at having Natalie Rude out in the mound.
No, Rude's no slouch pitching either. I mean, she's once Pillar graduates in 2 years, it'll be Rude's turn to fully take over that spot, and she'll do just fine. But I mean, we've talked about it before. You and I have having 2 pitchers in softball. Oh man, that you can't ask for much more.
All right, so we'll take a little break. We'll recap this one, and then we'll kind of preview the next game 2. So stay with us here on WCMP. We'll be right back. And welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Game Day Gilman here as we finish the first game of this turns out to be doubleheader as Esko defeats Rush City 2-0 in the first game. So that'll force a second one. That'll be in about 25 minutes or so here at this very ball field. We don't have to move, do we?
No. This is our spot now.
Fight us. No. But yeah, what did you see there in that first game?
Yeah, so just from the time that I was here, just kind of a little bit of lack of confidence at the plate for Rush City. Obviously, I wasn't here for the first 3 or so innings, but when I was here, I saw them try to be at the plate 3 times, and unfortunately, they just, I think because of early in the game, they couldn't figure it out with Leach. They just struggled to find that confidence at the plate again late in the game, and we've seen it here in the last inning. They were just swinging so late at things, not trusting what they've done for probably since first, second grade. So
right.
I think they just need to hear that again. But you look over at them, there doesn't seem to be a worry in the world.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a coach of a team so young in high school, you got to say, hey, we have things to learn from that first game, but right now is not that time. It's time to just have fun, relax, because, I mean, this might be the last game of the season.
Right.
So just relax, play your game, have fun. This is supposed to be a game.
Yeah.
And it has the added benefit of you play better when you're relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, I think it came from the start of that game where they couldn't figure it out early against Leach. They struggled to get a hit, and then it just got too late in the game to where they needed to start to swing, and they knew that, but they wanted to be careful at what they were swinging at. So I think they just got at the end of that game. I think they just were too into their own heads at that point, of thinking, oh, should I swing? I need to be careful. I need to get on base. Oh, should I? So and that's what caused them to kind of second guess some of those pitches and swing late. So, I think what you said was perfect. Just get back to this game, relax, have fun, and especially in a game like this, you completely don't even worry about the first game. You move on, act like it never happened, and you come here and say, all right, one game, let's go.
That being said, going into the second game, I think you really need to clean things up, notably on the defensive end. Get your hand behind the glove. Get your glove into the dirt.
Well, yeah, and it goes back to fundamentals. And sometimes those can be the hardest things to remember when you're in a pressure situation like that, being down 2 runs. You're trying to get back into the game, trying to make it quick. And that can be the hardest thing to do. So, yeah, just getting back to the fundamentals, understanding that, hey, we're okay. It happened. It happens sometimes. But let's make sure we don't let that happen here in Game 2. Let's get back to what we know we can do, how we know we can play, and let's just be confident in ourselves. If we miss one, don't dwell on it. Move on. Get to the next play and go get the next out.
And here's the thing. You can drill into their heads, hey, this playoffs, you earned the ability to get another shot. You earned that. So take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And you belong here.
Right. And that's the thing, too, is, you do belong here. And sometimes it might be unspoken, but that might get into their heads a little bit. Like, oh, man, we lost this one. Are we really supposed to be here? Is this really our year? Well, yes, it is. You lost Game 1. You just lost one.
Yeah.
You lost a couple during the regular season. It wasn't over, was it? No. You come into this one, I think you don't even put the pressure on them. You just say, hey, let's go out, have fun. Just do what you've been doing all season, which is having fun out on the softball field.
Now, if you're Esko, from Esko's side, what do you need to do coming into the second game?
I mean, it's a totally different look for Esko, because while you want to have fun, while you want to come out here and do all these things that we talked about for Rush, you're looking at it and going, okay, we just won this first game. Look at what we did. But you're also saying, well, this is also the team that beat us 10-0 in 5 innings. So you have to come out here and, for Esko, get back that same confidence that you just had from this first game. That's hard as you know what to do in a second game, especially when the team has already seen you once half hour before. Yep. So for Esko, it's going to be twice as hard for them to try and duplicate what they did in Game 1. I haven't seen a doubleheader yet where Game 2 was completely the same way. It's always, oh, wait a minute, this was close, or that other team won? What in the world? It's just because the dynamic of it. The other team has now seen you another time, and if you get that same pitcher, which you do a lot in softball, they know what she's got. They know what you're bringing, and now they can get early in the game and get a few hits on it, and now all of a sudden that changes the dynamic for the pitcher because now maybe they've gotten a few runs or maybe they've gotten a few runners on or a few errors defensively. So I think it's going to be twice as hard for Esko, and honestly, for Esko, I think they almost got to play perfect.
They showed us that they were hungry coming into game one. Now what they need to do in the second game is show us that they are able to stay hungry. After that big win, are they able to keep up that intensity and really kind of give it to Rush City and force them to be uncomfortable? Rush City didn't just lose that game. We watched that game. It was, I mean, the scoreboard says 2-0. It wasn't really close.
No, it wasn't, sadly. And again, that's what happens when you get that confidence taking a hit early on and you're not able to rally from it. And unfortunately, that's what happened there. But again, they're to our left. They've got the speaker on. That does not look like a team that just lost. That doesn't. I mean, I think what they understand is we still got another game to play.
Yep.
We still know we're the best team in this section, and we've got another chance to prove it, and we're going to do that. This team all year long has been that way. Let's relax. Let's calm down. Let's move on. Let's just have fun. And I think they're doing that. And I think this is part of their process of, okay, move on.
All right, so we will take a break in between games. We'll be back with your second game here about, what do you think, 20 minutes? I haven't really
I would
been.
assume like 15 maybe
15
now.
minutes? All right. Well, yeah, we'll do that. So stay with us here on WCMP. We'll have game 2 here from Cloquet after some music and sponsors.
Yeah, we'll get back to regularly scheduled programming here for the next 15 minutes. going to go ahead and hear word from a few of our fine sponsors as we will get back to game 2 in just a little bit.
And welcome back here in Cloquet as we are in between the first and second games of this section championship game, as Esko did defeat Rush City 2-0 to force a second game. Winner take all. Winner goes on to state. We want to take this opportunity to maybe give you some news from the local area. The city of Mora is in early stages of officially designating the War Memorial as a park. At last week's council meeting, Mayor Jake Matheson said he's met with the local American Legion about the effort. Matheson said discussions have included making the site a city park that would be managed by the local Legion chapter. The city would likely enter a lease agreement with the Legion for maintenance. An Isani man is facing multiple charges after a May 10th incident where he threatened to shoot law enforcement officers. 35-year-old Grinninger has been charged with count each of first and second degree attempted murder, second degree assault with a dangerous weapon, and a felony level count of illegal possession of a firearm. According to the criminal complaint, law enforcement was dispatched to a residence at 287th Circle Northwest in Isani for disorderly conduct. The reporting party said she was called by her 14-year-old son, who said Grinninger came home drunk, kicked his bedroom door open, and hit him. When authorities arrived on the scene, a deputy observed a green laser shining at the officers and believed a weapon was aimed at them. While repositioning to take cover, law enforcement heard a male party identified as Grinninger saying he would shoot it out with police and that this is how he is going to end it. Officers called for SWAT backup, and Grinninger was later detained and arrested after appearing to enter a truck in the driveway unarmed. Law enforcement secured the scene and located a semi-automatic long rifle with a green laser with an active round in the chamber. Authorities also recovered a semi-automatic pistol from the scene. Grinninger will make his next court appearance on August 21st. And finally, Sherburne County will begin reconstructing a stretch of Rum River Drive in Princeton in June. According to a notice from the city, work will begin at the Highway 169 interchange and extend north to Sherburne County Sherburne County boundary. County State Aid Highway 2 will be resurfaced in coordination with the project. MnDOT is also currently updating and improving 8 Highway 169 bridges through Princeton in a project that cost $7.3 million and expected to go through fall.
We're back here on WCMP, AM 1350, WCMP Anthem Country, 106.5 FM. Of course, we're waiting in between games as Esko won the first one over Rush City 2-0. So we forced game 2 between these two teams. Not a problem. Me and Adam Hefty will be here for as many as we need. Whether it's 2, whether it's 3, give us all 5. I don't know. We'll do them all. But we are here. We're in between games. I think they're waiting until about 5, so we've got about 8 minutes, 7 minutes left as we take a look at some sports-related things. Do we have an update from the other section softball championship game? Chisago Lakes is tied with Rockridge right now, bottom of the 6th, but their second batter is now at second, so a double has got a runner on for Chisago Lakes. That would be the game winner well, not quite the game winner, but at least to take the lead here in the bite at North Branch. So that is an update there. And then one, because I don't get to talk about it, so I feel like I'm going to now. College Football 26 is coming out here in July, which
So pumped.
lots of people are looking forward to. And one of the big things I think this year that people were looking forward to is there are real-life head coaches that will be in the game. More than 300 coaches will be represented in this year's version of college football.
But Ethan, what if I don't like my team's head coach? What then?
Create a coach.
Create a coach,
There you
yeah.
go. Then you can put whoever you want on it, you know. Maybe yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, Luke Fickle has our team 5-7, so.
You don't believe in him?
No.
They had John Gruden come in to practice, man.
I do. I mean, it's going to take a little more than I thought, but yeah.
Yeah. They did. This year's team, though, wasn't, or I should say last year's team, was I think, up in the air for a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
So I think you got to give them a year. Plus, the starting quarterback went down, game 2?
Yeah, second
So,
year in a row that's happened.
I feel so bad for him because he was going to be a first-round pick, and now he'll be lucky to maybe get drafted. But, as I mentioned, real-life head coaches, they'll have new home field advantage. But I think the thing for people who really don't play online like myself, this is the one thing that we're hoping gets into Madden because it needs it. But EA Sports said there will be a forthcoming Dynasty Deep Dive to get a better taste of how that mode has evolved. We've been asking for it since the last iteration of college has finally come. We'll see how deep of a dive it is on college football.
Are you able to create a stadium? I mean, you can in the 25 game, but it's based on
other
stadiums.
Well, and that's not the only thing. You have to go and have their colors in that stadium as well. You can't make it your colors. I remember, I think it was Madden 01 and 02 on the computer. You could, or no, it was one of the ones where you could create teams. You could put just a generic stadium, but you could have your colors and everything. It was so cool. They need to bring that back if you're going to have create a team again, which they will obviously. But
have colored fields.
Yes, I think that would be
so
cool.
You can do that in the game now. Did you know Boise State has a copyright?
Yeah.
That you need to get permission from Boise State. However, yes, legally that's true, but I don't think they've ever said no.
Yeah, it's more or less, hey, you got to ask us first, but we're just going to say yes anyways, just because if you don't, then we're going to sue you. So that type of thing, because, again, I don't think they have ever said no. But there aren't too many blue fields, which that does make it a little bit
There's
easier.
a red field in eastern Washington.
Yep.
I think eastern Michigan has gray.
Central Arkansas has, what is it, purple-gray?
Purple, yeah. I think the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina has the teal.
Yep. So there's a few out there in college football, but I struggle to find too many better venues than North Dakota State's home field down in Frisco, Texas. Champions for 10 out of the last 12?
Yeah, something like that.
I'll take it. But so there's a little bit of a look at College Football 26 coming up for this year. I don't have anything on Madden yet. I don't think lots of people care about Madden right now because the last few years we have been kind of, put on the back burner. And I think people are sick of Madden finally, which is, it's about time. And they're not going to change anything until they see a huge drop in because they have not delivered.
But are you going to stop buying Madden?
I will.
Really?
I haven't the last couple of years. This will be the year that I won't buy the next Madden. It's going to be tough because every year I get so hyped because of the new rosters, teams who get new jerseys. But this year I'm not going to buy it until I know there's for sure changes. Speaking of jerseys, the NFL doing the rivalry series throughout the next, 7 years or something like that?
Oh, I haven't heard
8
anything
years?
about
Okay, well, they announced it in the draft. So teams, two conference divisions this year are going to get. I think it's the AFC East, and NFC West, or maybe it's both the Easts. I don't remember.
Okay.
But they're getting special uniforms for this rivalry series.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like they did the Color Rush
Okay.
back in the day. They're going to do this rivalry series that's hopefully going to look better than the Color Rush.
Yeah, it was touch. It was touch and go with the Color Rush.
See,
some of them looked really good. Some of them just did not.
I love it. I love anything that's not the ordinary. Because I don't know if you noticed with college football last year, every team went to the simple 3-stripe on the sleeve or no stripe on the pant. It was like, this is boring. I miss the time when Utah had mountains on their sleeves, and you had teams who would go all out. And, Oregon always will, which is awesome. But you had teams who mixed it up. It's like, yes, this is what it's all about. But yeah, for NFL, they're going to be getting some rivalry series uniforms. So
call me when the Seahawks get their Seahawk on the helmet, on the silver and royal blue and green.
I cannot stand gray or silver helmets. Can't
really.
I
used to be
hate
that
it.
way, but
I cannot stand.
I kind of like it now.
See, I'm okay with it as a throwback for the Seattle. I love the throwback, but I cannot do it for a everyday uniform.
Oh my God!
I hate the silver.
Get us the royal blue Broncos helmet.
No.
I
love their new unis.
Unbelievable! Are you kidding me?
Oh, I love them.
John Elway and the royal blue helmet with the Bronco busting out of the D.
No.
Come on, man.
I like the more aggressive Bronco just sitting by itself. I love their new uniforms.
Broncos don't need to be more aggressive. They're aggressive already.
But they can be more aggressive.
They
That's
can
the thing.
be. What about Patriot Pat?
Again, I'm okay with it as a throwback.
Oh my gosh, when he got the red jerseys.
I do like the red
and
jerseys.
when it was that snow game,
that was cool.
I don't even remember who they were
cool.
playing, but I mean, I'll always remember
no,
that.
that's awesome as a throwback. But I think if I saw it every week,
that's true.
I'd get bored of it.
That's true.
So I think that for me, anyways. See, but I love the Seattle neon green uniform. I love that.
Ugh.
Not a lot of people do. I love it.
Gag me with a spoon, Ethan. Come on.
No, I love it.
We are not on the same page.
No, I'm not out with a lot of people with this type of stuff. I'm not, and I don't care. If I'm being totally
Clearly,
honest.
you don't care.
One of the ones that gets me that people don't like is the Saints black helmet. I love that helmet.
I like the gold and black as a color scheme. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like the gold helmet better.
Okay.
But I don't mind the black.
I'd rather
the black helmet with the gold.
The black helmet 24/7. If I'm being honest, that's awesome.
Yeah, give me a black and gold color scheme any day. And I'm touch and go on the old gold. That's always fun too.
Okay. Yep.
So like the Packers old gold, or Iowa, or something that you feel like having a brat and
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Looks like mustard.
Right.
Just looks so classic.
You know what? A team that needs to add at least just one color. It's the Raiders.
Yes.
Whether it's just a slim trim of gold, I think would be the slim.
Yep.
You're in Vegas. Add the gold. Why not?
Yeah, just an accent color.
Yep, exactly. It doesn't need much more.
You know what else needs revamping? The Seahawks jerseys. Why is there neon green, Ethan?
Because neon green is awesome. That's why.
What?
I think it can be done better. I'll say that. It can be done better than what's on their
Are
jerseys.
they playing at a casino, Ethan?
Maybe. They got to do something to brighten up their day. They're in Seattle, for Pete's sake.
I mean, the Mariners don't need it.
Really cool dark blue and yellow uniform, which is cool. No.
Maybe have a silver helmet.
No.
With a royal blue and green Seahawk.
No.
What is a
Terrible.
Seahawk? Have you ever seen a Seahawk? Do they exist, or is that just a made-up thing?
I think I've actually looked it up before. I think I have. But now I don't remember. Because it was a long time ago. I think it was a long time ago. And I was like, what the heck is a Seahawk? Looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Is it just a hawk that is by the sea?
Probably
is that
like
what
our
it is?
Seagulls.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the
this
sea.
Is this is a seagull. We have these. They're loud and obnoxious and poop on everything.
Yes.
It's a problem.
Yes.
And I guess you could sort of describe the Seahawks that way too.
Yeah.
Loud, annoying, and poop on everything.
I would take their fan base over many others, though. Oh, my goodness.
If you say Packers, your silence is
Green
deafening,
Bay.
Ethan.
I didn't say Packers. But, yeah, I mean, NFL is going to be a fun year this year. The NFC North itself.
I mean, yeah, it was wild, the NFC North.
I mean, it was. We knew the Bears
In the
were
regular
gonna-
season, did it other? I think the Packers lost to the Eagles, but outside of that,
the Bears.
that I mean, like in the first like 14, 15 weeks, it was like they lost. The
Yeah, but they
Packers
lost at home
to
to the Bears and almost lost
later.
to the Bears.
They lost it. The top 3 of the NFC North did not lose to anybody outside of the NFC North except for the Packers blowing it against the Eagles. They hurt our quarterback, Ethan. What's with Wisconsin teams and getting their quarterbacks hurt, Ethan? I'm blaming you.
That's okay.
I'm
I'll take it. Because you know what? I don't care. You guys have had now franchise quarterbacks for 40, 50 years in a row.
How angry were you when Malik Willis was winning games?
See, I actually wasn't too mad because I kind of enjoy Malik Willis. But it was so frustrating because it's like, oh, no, of course he's winning. Of course they're going to win.
I mean, it was against the Titans, so
yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
we
That
have
is
some high
true.
school teams that could compete
But
with the Titans.
Malik Willis was also doing pretty good, too.
Yeah,
He was.
he was.
It wasn't like he was a slouch and throwing for 112 and 2
Right.
interceptions and running for another 50, and his defense did all the work. He actually did a really good job.
Yeah, filling in for the Packers. But yeah, football is going to be fun.
It is. I obviously it'll be Packers, Lions, Vikings for the fight for the top. Bears will be Bears, you know.
Yeah,
Bears will be
will
Bears.
be Bears.
But
They'll Bears themselves.
oh yeah, I still find it funny that Caleb Williams found out he couldn't get drafted by us, and he was just like, "All right, well I got to make the best of it, I guess." Like, oh, you poor kid.
I think he's doing all right.
I do kind of feel bad because
Well, he was running for his life.
oh my gosh.
But when he had some time, he was doing stuff.
Yeah, they hopefully revamp their O-line just like the Vikings. We'll see.
I'm not hoping that.
If those two teams and those players are who they think they are, Vikings and Bears have the best O-line in the league. There's no doubt.
Yeah. I love if we're talking about visuals of football, that just the NFC North, when the lines of scrimmage, those photographs that go down the line of scrimmage with the NFC North helmets go
Yes.
down. Oh, beautiful. Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Those silver helmets of the Lions, though, I can't say. So we're going to take a commercial break.
But what about the Hawaiian blue? And
Oh, see, they're blue with
Detroit.
the black. They're
Yeah.
blue helmets with the black. Oh, can't get any better. Can't get any better. But I think we're going to take one commercial break here, Adam, because I think we're about ready to get this next game started.
all right, we will do that. So stay with us here on WCMP. Yes, 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 and welcome back here in Cloquet as we have game 2 of this doubleheader because Esko defeated Rush City in game 1, 2-0. So Rush City trying to, so it's a winner take all. They're able to send one team to state here this afternoon in Bram as they defeated down at Northwestern College. It will be Kira Leach once again on the mound. I'm joined by Game Day Gilman as well. We have Natalie Rude in the batter's box, and we are ready to go. First strike is hit high in the air and caught by Leach for the first out. One pitch, one out.
Well, that's a great start for Esko. A terrible.
It showed confidence. It was a confident swing. She just got underneath it.
It was, and that's what you're hoping for here. And again, you don't need a ton. What you need is just some confidence in these swings from Rush.
That pitch is high for Kendall Pillar. 1-0 is the count.
This is what you need if you're Rush, just to go out there, make her throw a few more pitches early on.
Swung on, hit high in the air, in
That's
play,
towering.
and dropped by the first baseman, but a foul ball.
Well,
So
again,
nothing hurt for Rush City.
yeah, it doesn't hurt, but
They're swinging.
They're swinging, but man, these are popping right up. But you know, at least you're getting something on the ball, and hopefully they can.
It's looking different than it was in the first game.
Yeah.
Swung on, foul back, good cut there by Pillar, and the count remains 1-2.
Now right into the backstop here.
And this is where Leach goes to her rising fastball.
Yeah, Pillar missed it the last time, but tell you what, she gets a hold of it. That thing might go bye-bye.
The 1-2.
Well, that's a good eye from Pillar. That ball went outside, got a little high as well, and Pillar did a good job to lay off. That's not easy, especially with 2 strikes.
The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for the second out.
That's unfortunate, but you got her to throw a few more. It wasn't just a 3-pitch strikeout. It was a few more. It was 6 pitches there, so at least you got her to do that, and now we see Kenzie Simmons to the plate.
Yeah, Kenzie Simmons up to bat now against Leach. Rude and Pillar were able to get the bat on the ball as Simmons shows bunt, swings, but hits it into herself, and that does not count.
Yeah, it'll be strike 1 there for her. So early on, though, you can tell just Leach is up. It seems like she hasn't stopped playing. Honestly,
Right.
She's right back into rhythm.
Showing bunt, gets it down.
Oh,
good bunt.
That's a good bunt.
And it's gonna go foul.
Man, does it count if she reaches the base first before it goes foul? Because she definitely did. That was a good bunt. It just spun a little bit, and unfortunately now she'll have to swing with 2 strikes.
I mean, she doesn't have to.
Right. She doesn't have to.
I would advise against it. 0-2 count, 2 down here in the top of the first. Showing bunt once again. Backs up, hits it. A
that's
blooper
down.
will drop for a base hit. Gets it behind the third baseman who had to play up because of the threat of the bunt.
Yeah, and that's the perfect hit if you're Simmons. And now that brings Lola Mold to the plate. And again, we know that this lineup brings a lot of power to it. And along with Mold, again, she can hit it deep. And that's what you're looking for here. She was a Rookie of the Year last year as an 8th grader. And she's already been a all-section member as well.
Pitch is in there for a strike. Got the lower half of the plate. But now you're making Leach pitch a little longer here in the first inning. She already pitched a full game.
Yeah,
in there for a strike.
If you can get her to throw more, that's obviously ideal. But again, 2 pretty good pitches to swing at and no offers. And well, now you got to protect.
Yeah, now you. So the 0-2 pitch, runner on first, 2 outs. Yeah, takes a little bit off of it and just a little bit too high.
Yeah, I knew where that one was going because the catcher moved into position on the far outside part of the plate.
The 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2.
That's a good eye by Mold. That's one where a lot of players would swing, either jam them up or swing and miss. But that's a good eye by Mold. Again, she's only a freshman, Adam. This is just, it's crazy.
Counts even at 2. 2 outs. Runner on first. Outside. And Mold has forced a full count.
She hasn't even taken the bat off her shoulder. Well, we got to be careful here.
Swung on, hit to the second baseman, over to first in time for a 4-3 putout.
Man.
And that'll do it for the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because, you know, got a hit, but just not a strong hit, not a strong enough hit.
Right,
on
so
that one.
1 hit, no runs, no errors. So we will remain at 0-0 here as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. And welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty joined by Game Day Gilman as we are heading to the bottom half of the first inning. Rush City unable to get a runner across in the top half. Clara Swanson up to bat to lead things off for Esko. It'll be Pillar once again on the mound. Her first pitch gets the inside corner for the first strike.
That's a good-looking pitch there to start this game for Kendall Pillar.
Even if she got a bat on it, there's nothing she could have done with it.
No, that's going right to the third baseman.
And that's going to go over the third baseman, under the left fielder's glove, and it still running is Swanson.
I said right to the third baseman, not over it.
So a leadoff triple for Clara Swanson.
Well, that's...
Or a leadoff double and maybe an error.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, less than ideal start defensively, and for Rush, I can't stress this enough. Get over that play. You have to throw it in the garbage. It didn't happen.
Hannah Romer up to bat with a runner on third. So she's just trying to get the ball in play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I think the left fielder may have been looking up over that ball, and unfortunately just, again, she picked her head up before she got it in her glove, and that's just a case of, again, being a little too anxious early on here in this one. No need to panic.
Bunt offering was a strike, and that will roll foul.
Thank goodness it did, because that's not only is it a run scoring, she's reaching first safely.
Yes. So now the count is 0-2. Still no run has been scored, so Pillar was able to get out of a situation similar to this in the first game without any runs being allowed in.
Yeah, you can't count her out of getting 3 outs and keeping that runner at third. There's a good opportunity she can, but that's going to score a run anyways.
Yeah, that's going to be a blooper in front of the center field. And welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Game Day Gilman here in Cloquet as we are in the second game of a doubleheader. Because Esko defeated Rush City in the first game 2-0. They are up 2-0 here in the third. Trying to add to it. Pillar back on the mound for the Tigers.
Yeah, we're no harm in it, but we're hoping that they don't, so that Rush City can get back into this one and get themselves to the state tournament. And it's just, I think it's so tough just because that first game, I think, took a lot of confidence from the Tigers. And with not being able to get really much going at the plate, that confidence has still not gotten back to them.
Hannah Romer up to bat for Esko. Fouls one back.
She was part of the 3 straight hits that actually she hit an RBI.
And that's going to be hit in front of the left fielder.
Oh, no, again. Got it under her glove.
And that's going to be a double. And it could have been a single.
Those are the mistakes where, again, you don't want to be too hard on your team, but at some point you just got to look at your team and go, we have to wake up out here. We cannot allow these type of errors. We can't be, missing the fundamentals of the game. This is what's hurting them, because now you have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And it seems harsh, but I'm not trying to be harsh.
Right. Kira Leach now up to bat. Runner in scoring position. Swung on and missed.
That's a good looking pitch from Pillar. That was nasty.
The 0-1 pitch. Showing bunt is Leach. Good bunt. Got the runner around, or across to third. So a successful bunt by Leach.
That's really good bunt there.
Ellie Barta up to bat for Esko now. One down.
Well, they're going to need some big plays here from the defense and from Pillar herself, because Esko's threatening to score and make it a 3-0 lead. And in this type of game, that's dang near insurmountable.
Swung on and missed.
People might be thinking I'm crazy, but if you have seen this game at all, I think you would understand that, 3-0, man, that is a crazy difference. Oh, a late decision to courtesy run. She might be, she looks like she's favoring something a little bit. Hopefully she's okay. I think, yeah, because it looked like Hannah Romer was kind of limping off the field. Man, I hope she's all right.
Ava Anderson will take her place on third base.
Well, hopefully this is just a strategy thing and not anything more, because you'd hate to see, you want the best of the best playing at all times. You'd hate to see one of your good players have to leave due to an injury.
So 0-1 is the count. Showing bunt. Got it down. Oh, and airmailed the throw.
Well, and you know why is because she was thinking about the runner going home. So she was like, should I hold on to it or should I throw it? And then because of that, she, like you said, airmailed it.
So now the score is 3-0.
Well, these are the mistakes that unfortunately have just kind of rolled in from game one.
And a runner on first, and still with just one out.
This looking more like a baseball game. Chisago Lake softball in their section championship game.
As a steal by Ellie Barta is successful.
I'm surprised Rude still threw that. She bobbled it a little bit. The throw, though, I got to give her credit.
Yeah.
She still almost got it. But to finish, Chisago Lakes in their section championship against Rockridge right now, bottom of the 10th. That's game one, ladies and gentlemen. They could be having two.
Be playing under the lights.
Yeah.
Here in late May.
1-1 there, tied in the bottom of the 10th. But if Chisago Lakes gets one run, they're head to state.
So runner in scoring position. One down. 1-0 is the count on Riley Duravec. Pitch is swung on and missed.
Well, Pillar has got that rising fastball working. She's switched locations with it here the last few at-bats and done a really good job, but it's just unfortunate we've had a good swing from Romer, but a couple of errors still in the field.
Duravec calling time just in time before the pitch. It was granted.
But I don't know if next time she calls it that late, it will. Ooh, just high.
And that'll be high. It's a good timeout because that would have been a strike, the one before.
And there's a lot of umps who, if you call it that late, they're not going to grant it. So catches a break there.
2-1 is the count. Hit to third. And fouled away. So the count is even at 2.
Bases are loaded for Chisago Lakes. 1 out. This could put them to state. Bases loaded.
Duravec swings and misses for the second out.
There you go. Get a strikeout. That's her third of this game, and get something going. And
Brooklyn McKibben up to bat now for Esko. Swung on and missed for the first strike.
Well, Pillar's now kind of settled into a rhythm here. It feels like that this is the Pillar that everyone knows. So maybe she's gaining some confidence herself, and maybe this will help trickle down into the entire team.
And it got McKibben.
She half swung on that, though. She checked her swing.
Well, if you remember, McKibben leans over the plate.
She does. I don't know if I would have let her go. I think. That's one, if I'm Rush, I think I might argue. But nonetheless, they will get a courtesy runner for at first, and that'll be number 16, and that is Amber Lowry.
So runners on first and second. 2 down. Esko leads 3-0 here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, and which is unfortunate about this is, Rush does not have the luxury of getting to the bottom of the 7th this time around.
Emma Atkins up to bat for Esko. Swung on and not swung on.
Chisago Lakes just beat Rockridge with, I don't know if it was a base hit single or if it was just stealing home, but they got the run they needed. They win 2-1 over Rockridge, and Chisago Lakes is headed to the state tournament. So we've got 2 of our 3 in their section championships headed to state.
So that pitch is fouled away for the second strike. 2 down. The 0-2. Low and got past Rude, and the runners will advance. So runners on second and third. If Pillar is able to get out of this, it won't harm anything. Still a pitcher's count, 1-2. Swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the third inning. 3-0 is the Esko lead as we head into the fourth here on WCMP. And welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Game Day Gilman here in Cloquet.
We can get a lot more ads in.
Yeah. Hey.
Alex Rysdam isn't out there ready to go in 3 seconds. But and it's so interesting to see the differences in.
Ooh, really good bunt. Is Simmons able to beat it out?
Nope.
She is not.
Man.
Really good play on the baseball there by the third baseman.
But it's so interesting to see the differences in pitchers, how quick some go, how slow some go, how they need a little bit of a pre-pitch kind of routine. It's so interesting to see the differences. And I love Alex Rysdam's pitch because the batter does not have any time in between.
Right.
It makes you get ready right away.
Lola Mold up to bat. Will foul it away. It'll roll across the netting.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Tigers being aggressive early in these.
Oh yeah, I mean you have nothing to lose now.
Right, and you're down by 3, so someone has to get on. But
yeah, you need to manufacture something.
And again,
and a good hit by Lola Mold, and that might get something started.
But all you need is that one little blooper, that one error, that one something, because now what you need desperately. Her to get to second.
Yes.
You need her into scoring position. They have not been able to do that. I fail to remember if they were even able to do it in game 1. So you have to get her into scoring position. Obviously, third is ideal, but even if you get her to second, that changes things, and now your team starts to reel in that confidence.
Kaylin Glenna up to bat. Takes the first strike.
Yeah, that's on the outside part of the plate. You don't want to swing at something out there. That's a grounder for a double play waiting to happen.
So Mold on first base. 1 down. Outside, 1-1.
Now, if you're Joshua Miron, you step over the plate and swing at that.
What is this white thing that's in front of me? The 1-1 pitch. High, 2-1.
That's a good eye from Glenna. That's a good pitch, but it's an even better take by Kaylin Glenna. We've seen Tigers swing at that a lot here this afternoon. That time Glenna says no.
Swung on up the middle, and that's going to move the runner along. And caught in the middle was Mold, but able to get back to second. So runners on first and second. 1 down.
Now I know why Mold went, because I was about to say, she has a chance to go. That left fielder had a trouble time with how hard that ball was hit of picking it up. Luckily, Mold gets back to second, but now you got runners at first and second, and Addison Antonsen, the lefty, with a chance to change this the look of this game as we get a pinch runner here for Glenna.
Yeah, that's going to be Julianne Halls on first for Glenna. And Antonsen cannot be weary at the plate right now.
No, this is a time where you go aggressive. You swing at the first pitch, put that one in play, because there's only 1 down. The worst you do is put a runner to third.
And if, in the terms of Kira Leach, you can go from in the zone to, hey, I've been pitching for 10-plus innings real quick.
Yep, and this would be...
Pitches in there in the outside corner.
Man, I think he even struggled to understand if he wanted to call that strike or not, because we heard that was a late strike call. That was must have just been right on the edge.
The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled away.
That's the one. She needed to get on it a little bit sooner, because that's the one. So let's see if she can fight to stay alive and, again, maybe even put this one into play.
So now 0-2. Pitcher's count for Leach. The pitch.
Ooh,
high. Okay. Trying to get Antonsen to chase it to no avail.
Yeah, that's another good take, and I think the Tigers are tired of seeing that one and swinging at it. They're saying if it's going to do that, we're not swinging because it's been high in the zone, so they're taking that pitch.
And that swung on and fouled once again.
Look how far that went. If she straightens that out, that's 2 runs.
She is just a tick behind.
And you said it just.
So 0-2 is still the count, or 1-2 is the count now. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Ball is hit up the middle, and that's going to be in there, and does move the runner to third.
Yeah.
Antonsen is on first.
Well, she beat it out, which
She
is
did.
good. But you get that second out. I mean, I thought that was going to get through,
Yeah.
but it was just not hit hard enough. If that was hit harder, the second baseman probably has it go off of her hand or glove.
Yeah.
Because it's been hit too hard. But that one was just not hit hard enough for her to bobble around, and unfortunately the play was made at second. But now you got runners at the corners, 2 down. Let's see a little bit of a 2-out rally here. Megan Nelson, she can get something going. I mean, in the last game there against, was it Aiken? She did a good job of getting a 3-run double in one of the last innings, so there's no reason she can't do that again. Maybe not 3, but
Swung on and missed.
I guess she could get through. She hit a home run.
Yeah. So 0-1 is the count.
Yeah, just make it easy. Hit a home run and tie it up.
You're not going to get many other chances if you're Rush City.
No.
Swung on and hit high in the air
I think the only
towards
hope
the
is
right
that this
fielder,
stays
and
foul.
it's caught.
Ah.
And that'll do it for the top of the 4th inning.
That was their best chance to get back into this one. But we got 3 more innings.
Right. So 3-0 is the score in the middle of the 4th. We'll be back here on WCMP after word from some of our sponsors. Welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty joined by Game Day Gilman here in Cloquet for the second of 2. Esko defeated Rush City 2-0.
We've got a pop car out in center, has their lights on. You can't have lights on. That's distracting to these batters, so trying to get that turned off.
Maybe a Honda. I can't tell the logo from here.
Looks like a Volkswagen to me.
So they're going to ask the car to turn off the lights. Distracting to the batter's eye.
Yeah, no, certainly. But my question is why didn't they get that figured out before Rush came up to bat? 'Cause they were on the entire time Rush was at the plate, so. There we go.
Thank you.
Let's play some baseball. Bottom of the 4th. So bottom of the 4th, Esko up to bat in the form of Bryn Christensen.
First baseman number 2, Bryn Christensen.
One of the Rush City coaches out to talk with the. They're asking about that time call. They are. And coach is asking, hey, why was she not granted a strike? Because that was a late time call. So coach just asking, hey, if next time that happens, can we get that strike call? Because that was late. It's almost not fair to Pillar.
So Christensen up to bat.
Ooh,
Gets the outside corner.
just got it then. Just got that outside corner.
Just tipped it. 0-1 is the count on Christensen.
It's been a long day.
It has been.
Been a long day of talking.
Swung on, hit towards second, gathered in,
There
over
we
to
go.
Glenna for the first out.
But do you notice how she pulled that one in first before throwing it? I think they're just finally getting back to settling down, just reeling these things in and then making the throw. Instead of trying to do it all in one, I think they're finally unfortunately, it may be too little too late, but they're finally settling in.
Right. Barta up to bat. Swung on and missed. Lucy Barta. Swung on, fouled away. 0-2. 0-2 is the count.
Yeah, so you got one out already. Get this next out. And then, unfortunately, it does tip back to the top of the order, but, that goes a long ways to trying to finish it off.
In there, got her looking.
That's a good-looking pitch. We've seen both of these pitchers use that same spot of the plate for a strikeout, and it's worked more than once.
Mm-hmm. Clara Swanson, top of the order,
Well,
up to bat.
Oh, my bad, but let us not forget she hit a leadoff triple.
Left fielder
Nice job.
comes in for the third out, and that'll do it
Uses two hands.
for the fourth inning. Score remains 3-0 in favor of Esko as we head into the fifth inning here on WCMP.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
And welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Ethan Game Day Gilman here in Cloquet as Esko holds a 3-0 lead over Rush City, and the winner moves on to the state tournament. We have Ashlyn Simmons leading things off for Rush City here in the top of the fifth.
It'll be the 8-9-1 batters due up, so if they can get this order turned over with a runner on, even with one out, that I think that would give momentum, maybe not shift it completely in Rush City's way, but it would certainly start to swing things in their favor. Pardon the pun.
A lot of speed here at the plate. Third baseman knows it. She is high up. And it's going to be a swinging bunt. Simmons unable to beat it out.
Dang.
Third baseman has just been on point. Because that was a tough play, and that wasn't the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who is at third base? Lucy Barta.
That's unfortunate for Simmons. I think if that one maybe comes out of the box a little bit slower than what it did, she definitely reaches, but got a little too much on it that time.
Yeah. Addicks now out to bat. Will pull back a bunt attempt.
That was a really late bunt attempt, too. I'm surprised she got it pulled back in time.
So it's going to be 1-0.
They still got this inning, the next inning, and the seventh to try and get 3 runs back at them, so let's not count them out.
Showing bunt. Does bunt, but it'll go foul.
The way she's bunting is interesting. And the way she's bunting is it'll pop it up. I know she's trying to put it down the first base line, but, man, it's I don't know if she's just getting it out there late or what.
Swung on and missed. So 1-2 count.
Swings underneath it, and Adam, if she straightened out that swing, that's headed right back up the middle for a base hit.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a gap behind the pitcher. Obviously, you don't want to hit the pitcher. let's not do that. But
swung on, foul back.
But there is a hole right behind that pitcher that is leaving you open for a base, and how hard do you hit it?
The 1-2 pitch. Showing bunt, pulls back, goes
Ooh.
outside.
Ooh. That was a little bit high, but that was close enough to where it well, some others may have called that a strike. That was close.
The 2-2. Got the bunt down, but it'll be fouled off the batter.
Yep,
Can't do
she's
that.
out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't foul on strike 2 with a bunt.
Yep. So 2 outs.
And we haven't seen it yet this year. That's the first time I've seen a player attempt to bunt on strike 2.
It's a risky play.
It is, and unfortunately it does not wind up paying off. Man, that's unfortunate for Rush.
So Natalie Rude now up to bat with 2 down.
Yeah, you really had an opportunity there to get a runner on for not only Rude, but also for Addix. Or, excuse me, not Addix. Addix would have been the player you would have liked to get on with Simmons, but for Pillar and Simmons as well. So, see if the top of the order can't get a 2-out rally going.
Outside, ball 2.
Stays outside.
So getting a base runner, Natalie Rude has been on base a couple times in this game. And that's going to be hit, but spinning foul.
Yeah, it's too bad that one didn't
Maybe
have.
not a couple times. She flew out in the first.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of the first game. It's all meshing together. My morning show, the 3 games that I've done. The 2-1. Swung on, fouled away.
Very similar to the last one. With that same spin, similar spot it landed, and then it rolls foul. But that'll even it up at 2-2 now for Rude. Oh, she wasted one there.
And that's going to go outside. Full count.
Catcher set up dang near in the left-handed batter's box.
Just trying to get her to chase something. Hit to short.
Chopper. That's going
to airmail the first baseman, and Rude is going to reach on the air.
Well, any way you can get on.
Right.
Especially right now. 2 down. That would have been an out, but well over the top of the first baseman's glove. And now for Rush City, they at least get another chance.
Kendall Pillar up to bat. Runner on first, 2 outs. Showing bunt. In there for a strike.
Yeah, unfortunately, trying to bunt her way on. Easily could, but I think at this point, maybe go away from the bunt situation just because you need to ultimately put some hits into the outfield or at least get through the infield.
Well, you only have 7 more outs left.
Right.
You can't waste any of them.
Yep.
0-2 now after the strike call. That's going to go outside.
Wasting one there.
1-2.
Well, if you want someone to kind of get things going, it's the junior pitcher.
Swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the 5th inning, or the top of the 5th, excuse me. So, 3-0 is the Esko lead here in the middle of the 5th inning. We'll be back with the bottom half of your 5th inning after a word from some of our sponsors.
You gotta stop somewhere, so make a stop into the Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, get Red Bull 8.4 ounces, 3 for $6.50. Pringles are 2 for $5 and save $2 on 7th Avenue Pizza when you buy 2. Plus, introducing Lucky Days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mention to the cashier, it's your lucky day, and get free items and discounts on drinks and fuel. Whoa! Keep an eye on social media to learn more. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat. And they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Ethan Gilman here in Cloquet. I forgot where I was. I was going to say Rush, and I was going to say Esko. It's
in between, technically.
Yeah, yes. We are technically in the middle of Rush City and Esko. As we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Esko holds a 3-0 lead.
Well, Pillars kind of figured it out here the last couple innings in the pitcher circle, and defensively they're back to what we recognize Rush City for defensively. It's just unfortunate that their offense has not yet, I'm speaking it into existence, not yet come through with the hits and the runs. They will next inning. I'm calling it.
Showing bunt, but that got the outside corner, making the count 0-2 on Hannah Romer.
It's a good pitch from Pillar.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed for the first out.
She had her completely fooled on that one. She almost had her out of the batter's box swinging away at that one.
Kira Leach now up to bat for Esko.
Yeah, she's 1 for 2 today. Bunted single back in the first as part of the 3 hits in a row to start the game.
Outside, 1-0. Swung on, hit towards first base, and is caught by Glenna for the second out.
Yeah, that was an easy catch for Glenna. She just had to lean over a little bit, make that grab, and get out number 2.
Ellie Barta now up to bat for Esko.
Yeah, the last time they were able to get a run, she reached on an error. Did not score. She got to third, though. Ooh, almost got her.
So inside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0.
Yeah, Rush is getting these 2 outs is big, but, you know, now you got to turn to the offense and just say, hey, we have to get going.
Swung on and fouled back for the first strike. 2-1 now the count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Esko leads 3-0.
Pillar has over 600 strikeouts in her career, looking for another one.
In there.
Yeah.
Got the inside corner. Not where she wanted the pitch.
He called it a strikeout, but it was only strike 2. He corrected it. I think it was just such a good-looking pitch. He was like, yeah, that's a good one. I mean, we'll take it for Rush for an out.
Counts even at 2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Swung on, hit towards left field, and it's going to fall in front of the left fielder.
Well, that's their first hit in a while.
So Ellie Barta will reach on a single.
And now it's the catcher, Riley Durovec.
So runner on first, 2 outs.
We see the third baseman, Antonsen, creeping in to protect on bunt.
And going.
Oh, I don't like that decision to throw there.
And they're going to send the runner to
yeah,
third.
She's in easily.
And now There's a runner on third.
Throw down with 2 outs, Adam. What about you?
I think the risk is not worth it, especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, I would agree. I understand. You know, you want to be aggressive and try and get that out. But at the same time, that's what you run the risk of. And unfortunately now there's a runner at third, and all of a sudden that one base hit turns into now a threat at third.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes you're just trying to do too much in there for a strike and even stick out at 1 apiece. But yeah, sometimes the biggest mistake you can do is trying to do too much. And that's a perfect example of that. Now the runner's on third. Swung on and missed.
Well, that'll help.
So Pillar has a chance to get out of it.
Yeah, that'll help with a swing like that. So maybe now you come with something outside and get her to swing out the zone.
And not a great swing.
No, I
there
mean,
by Riley Duravec.
That pitch almost came up short.
That is the best of Pillar that we've seen all day. Or as we head into the 6th inning here on WCMP.
Aurelius Manufacturing has been providing innovative solutions to customers since 1926. Specializing in the production of 40 years, our focus is on providing value to customers through innovative problem solving, quality workmanship, and customer service. Our team works with your team to develop designs that provide the most value for your application. We leverage technology and craftsmanship, turning designs into finished products quickly and accurately. Aurelius Manufacturing is a proud sponsor.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Welcome back here on WCMP. Adam Hefty and Ethan Gilman here at Cloquet at Braun Field for this section championship 7 AA, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. Winner of this one goes on to the state tournament. We've already sent 2 of our local teams to the state tournament here this afternoon.
We specifically did.
We did.
We did. It was all because of us.
Together, we weren't even in North Branch.
No. We passed by it, though.
We did a couple times. Kenzie Simmons up to bat, and she throws bump. Called strike, making it 0-1.
I think right now for Rush, I'm not going to question what they're doing with the bunts, but I think you need to just go away from that. I know you want her to get on with her speed, but now it's all of a sudden 0-2 and she hasn't swung. I think you just got to go completely away from that. You need to get runners on. I know a bunt gets a base hit.
Maybe.
You're right.
But that third baseman.
That's what I was just gonna reference.
Lucy Barta has been.
She has just been phenomenal on those, and she knows when it's coming. So, I think you just got to tell him, hey, swing away. Setting up outside.
Show him bunt, but it pulls back and it'll go outside, making the count 1-2. Here in the 6th inning, top of the 6th, Esko leads 3-0. Rush City wanting to find a rally here in the 6th inning. Pitch swung on and missed for the first out.
That's one of those rising fastballs that we talk about from her, and unfortunately that's going to get Simmons. And it's such a hard pitch to swing at and decide whether or not to swing, because if you don't, you run the risk of it staying in the zone. If you do, well, more than likely than not, you're going to be swinging under it. So it's such a tough pitch to try and get a piece of.
Lola Mold up to bat for Rush City. In there for a strike, 0-1.
Outside part of the plate, but a good idea to not swing at that one, because that one's only going to wind up in the dirt.
Pitch by Mold, swung on up the middle, and it'll drop in for a base hit, and Mold is on base again.
That's what you need. That's the second time she's gotten on today with a single, but the last time she got to third, this is where you're telling your players, hey, either it's now or never. It is now or never, because you got, what, now 6 or 5 more outs?
Yep.
You have to get things going now, and this is your chance. This is the last Agree. That's when you had your best chance. And this is, again, with Mold getting on, you're giving yourselves a chance. So you really, really got to put the responsibility, I guess, for lack of a better term, on now the batters.
Glenna will foul it away, evening the count at 1 apiece. With 1 out.
Just a little early on that one.
Not often that they're early.
No.
With Leach.
No, but, if anything, that just tells us they're getting a little bit more confident and they're seeing that ball a little bit better.
The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for the second strike.
Yeah, that was, that's just plain and simple. That was a good pitch.
That was nasty. 1-2. Glenna in the box. The pitch. In there. Got her looking for the second strike. Or the second out, excuse me.
Yeah, Glenna was not happy with that. And I'm not close enough to really see, but it did look like that was one way or the other. And unfortunately, that gets her down with looking.
Addison Antonsen now up to bat for the Tigers. Outside, 1-0.
Adam, is that the one where you got to look at your player and just go, hey, at that point, at this part of the game, we just have to be swinging?
Yeah, you have to. It was close. It was close enough to be swinging.
Right. Because worst comes to worst, you foul it off, but that's a double play ball. Oh.
And a nice throw over by the shortstop for the third out, and that'll do it for the top half of the 6th inning.
I forgot there were 2 outs.
So back to the bottom half of the inning. We'll be back here on WCMP with that bottom half of the 6th inning after a word from some of our sponsors.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Welcome back here on WCMP Section 7 AA Championship between the Rush City Tigers and Esko. Esko has a 3-0 lead. They have a chance to add to it here in the bottom half of the 6th, but the real battle will happen in the top half of the 7th. If Rush City does not tie things up, at least the game will be over.
And I said it earlier, if they get 1 run, it just feels like it could snowball for the Tigers.
Right.
They just haven't been able to get close enough to get the 1 run yet. They've got to second base. I think they've got to third, but
yeah, there was
that was it.
There was an inning where they got to third base with 2 outs, but weren't able to capitalize because there were runners on the corners.
But I think this is a case, if they score 1, they're scoring multiple. Now, unfortunately, they only have 3 outs to play with, but we'll see.
Swung on and missed by Andrew Lowry. So 0-1 is the count. Pillar back out there for the Tigers. Swung on and missed.
Yeah,
0-2.
She's pinch hitting here for McGibbon.
Yeah, we talk about Leach pitching a lot, but Pillar has pitched even more
Oh, my goodness,
tonight.
yes.
The 0-2. Swung on, fouled away.
She'll definitely be icing that arm, I think, tonight and tomorrow. Both pitchers, I think, honestly, they have
both
thrown
pitchers
a lot.
have done some really good work.
They have
here this afternoon. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for the first out.
Yeah, the defense has lit it up the last few innings for Rush, but yeah, I mean, they just haven't been able to get by Leach. Plain and simple.
Emma Atkins up to bat for Esko. In there for a strike, got the outside corner.
That just got the outside corner too, and good frame there by Rude.
In there. Got the generous strike zone there on that one.
Yeah, that's kind of where both pitchers have been kind of living here today, on that right on that edge on the outside.
The 0-2 pitch.
Oh,
right through in between the second baseman.
Oh, did she get her out anyway?
Oh
she
my
did.
gosh! The throw beat it for the second out.
Whoa! A ground out from right field. Wow.
Huh? Don't see that very often.
No, and I can't quite tell who that is. I think it's, I can't tell who that is out and right. I think it's Kenzie Simmons though. So I think Kenzie Simmons just made that play.
In there, got the outside corner on Bryn Christensen.
When's the last time you heard of a ground out from right field? I mean, my goodness.
Sean Casey, maybe?
Ooh.
Pitches inside.
Ooh, that one missed in.
So these umps have been pretty consistent. That inside corner has not been a strike, but the outside corner has. Strike 2, so 1-2 is the count. So a little inside softball, if you will. Strike zones do change from game to game, but what coaches and players want is for it to be consistent throughout the game, as that pitch is hit high in the air and caught by Pillar, and Rush City will have their final 3 outs here to try to get 3 more runs. And we'll be back with that top of the 7th inning after word from some of our sponsors.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org. Need a prescription or Medicaid? Pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
And welcome back here on WCMP. We are down to the final 3 outs for Rush City. Esko leads 3-0. Rush City unable to get anything going offensively all day.
So unfortunate because they figured it out here in the second game. They have. But the offense just hasn't been able to put any runs on the board. We got close back in the, in the fourth, and that was the closest they've been since, and easier. You're down to your last 3 outs, and each runner has to score.
That pitch is outside, but it might free you up to be a little more free. Be like, well, you got no choice now.
Right. And I think one of the hopes is maybe Leach leaves a couple over the middle, over the heart of the plate, and you send some.
Swung on, foul back, 1-1.
But I don't see Leach doing that.
She hasn't done it yet. She's been so good all day.
Well, and I think what happened, too, is Rush started to be aggressive on the first pitch, middle of this game, and that kind of got them to believe that, hey, we can now, we're getting hits now. We're getting our bats on the ball. Let's just put them into play. They did it a few times, and I think, I don't want to say it was too little too late, but I would have liked to have seen them do that earlier.
The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for a strikeout.
Oh, man, that's going to be one that she, unfortunately, will live with throughout the offseason. That's one she didn't even want to swing at. You could tell that it was just kind of, she was already in motion, couldn't stop herself, and swung through, unfortunately.
Ashlyn Simmons now up to bat for Rush City.
But you know what? This is still a young team. They're still learning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, swung on, hit for a second. Diving stop.
Oh, no,
it got
didn't.
through. So Ashlyn Simmons gets on base for the Tigers and brings the senior Peyton Addicks up to bat.
Yeah, I much like you thought it was stopped, but it did get underneath her, and now Addix, the senior, could you imagine the senior get going? You know, it doesn't have to be a home run, but getting the first run, and then all of a sudden she starts the rally. I mean, what a way to go out. If they wind up losing or winning, I mean, what a way to finish off the section championship.
Showing bunt, pulls back, inside corner.
Oh, that might be the first time that has been a strike tonight.
0-1 is the count. Showing bunt. They're saying she didn't pull back in time.
Adam, I don't know about you. I just don't like the bunt here.
It doesn't help at this point. So it's 0-2 now. You got to swing. Swung on and missed.
Ooh, that was outside too. That was one of those ones where she was wasting, but she knew that, you know, because Rush has to be more aggressive, she could camp outside and get that swing.
So the final out for Rush City. Down 3-0. Runner on first. Top of the order, Natalie Rude up to bat. She has gotten on base in there for a strike. She did get on base a single in the last at bat.
Yeah, it wound up being an error, that play over there at third, but need a lot of help right now.
Swung on, hit
That's
towards third, and that'll do it. And Esko will travel to the state tournament after they defeat Rush City in 2 straight games, and will move on.
Man, you just feel so bad for Rush City. The second year in a row they've made it to the section championship. We're dominant, and I mean just so dominant throughout this playoff run. And sadly, it comes to an end against Esko, a team who you beat 10-0 the last time you played, and they beat you in 2 straight. It's a tough pill to swallow.
So we'll be back to wrap this one up here on our sponsors.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized. Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
Join us June 14th for a day full of free outdoor experiences.
Oh, I was there last year, and I'm going again.
Join us for the free youth outdoor experience at the Gopher Rifle and Revolver Club in Harris, June 14th. Come for the axe throwing, exhibits, clay pigeon demos from the fire department, arts and crafts, 2,000 ears of sweet corn. There's really too much to mention. And kids that sign up before May 31st get a free t-shirt. Register now.
It's easy to sign up. There's a QR code on the Facebook page.
Get the QR code today. Visit Long Spurs of Sunrise River.
It was awesome.
And welcome back here on WCMP as we have just finished the second half of our doubleheader from here in Cloquet. Our third of 3, if you will, as we watched as Bram defeated West Lutheran. They'll move on to the state tournament. Rush City falls in a tough doubleheader to Esko. Ethan, what'd you see here tonight?
Unfortunately, confidence was something that got stolen from the Tigers in Game 1. They couldn't catch up with Leach. That took a big hit to their confidence. They struggled to get it back. They finally got it back here in Game 2. Unfortunately, it was just too little too late. And that's what hurts about it the most is this is not the way that these 2 games would have gone.
Right.
Not at all. But when you've got a pitcher like that who is so in command early on, and you're not getting you're getting a hit, but it's going soft, rolling right to the pitcher.
Yeah,
that takes so much out of you. And for Rush, I know it probably sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but they've had to travel a lot this postseason, and I mean a lot, to Virginia for 2 games, then up to here just on Tuesday, and back here again for this game. There might have been a little bit of fatigue setting in for this team, a little bit of tiredness. There's a lot to overcome when you're playing a championship an hour and a half away, especially when you just were here on Tuesday. So there's a lot that goes into it, and unfortunately here, I think just confidence, I think that was the biggest thing, though, in this game. They lost the confidence early on and didn't get it back till it was sadly too little too late.
I think it was less that they lost it. I think it was just taken away by Leach.
Yeah.
Leach was, both pitchers.
Taken away.
Yeah, both pitchers pitched very
Yeah,
well.
they did.
And Esko played much cleaner this afternoon and tonight. You could argue that one or two of the runs, maybe not the difference, were caused by sloppy play by Rush City.
Yeah, looking at Pillar in this second game, 6 innings, only allowed the 6 hits, 7 strikeouts still with 1, the controversial hit by pitch, which again I still think was foul. But to move on, it was, again, I think the reason why we saw the errors was the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the key here today. I think when we look at this game, we'll look back and it'll be the quote, confidence is key. And that was it here in this one. They lost it. Play got a little bit sloppy. They started to think too much about what could be and didn't just focus at, this current batter, this current at-bat, this current pitch, this ball coming right to me. I think they thought a little bit too much about it and were in their own heads, and that's a hard place to be for anybody. Because when you're in your own head, there's a lot, you're thinking about a lot. This could be the end, and it's hard to get out of. We got to remember, these are young people still.
Right.
These are still young, emotional human beings. So it's not as easy for maybe some other grown people to just move on and focus. These are still young ladies who are emotional as you are in high school. So you take nothing away from what they did though this season.
Have a rundown because the Tigers had a really good season, an even better postseason.
They, if I remember correctly, only 4 or 5 losses during the regular season. Which, if you look at it during the regular season at the end, you might be looking at it and going, "They lost 5 games. What's happening with Rush City? They've lost 5 games. What's going on? This isn't the team from last year." Well, then you look at it the last week or two of the regular season. No one could beat them, and no one could even come close to beating them. And look at what Pillar did. She kind of carried the team at point. What we covered a game against Mora. She had 18 strikeouts of the 21 possible outs that could be had in that game. There was a game, I think it was on Tuesday, the game on Tuesday against Aiken. She had 5 strikeouts of the possible 21 outs that were available. The defense is what carried this team. The offense, I think, was just kind of a byproduct of the defense. Now, can they marriage those two in the offseason through this next summer, fall, and winter and come back next year and put it all together? I think so.
Yeah.
But, again, just kind of a few losses there early on that were uncharacteristic, but they were, again, you don't know what your team is the first 2 weeks. That's what you figure out towards the middle and end of the season, and that's what they did. And, again, they allowed 2 runs up to this game, all postseason long.
That'll work.
That was it. So you talk about dominance. This team showed it, and unfortunately they just ran into a better pitcher tonight.
So you want to give a little bit of a thank you to the ADs and the site commanders that we've been working with this week?
Well, I just want to
today.
Yeah, I just want to first give a huge shout out to Peyton Addix. She's a senior, so she'll be graduating. She's a volleyball player for this team. I think she does play a winter sport. It might be hockey. I'm not quite sure, but she does play volleyball. She played volleyball for this team. She was a key senior for this team, the only senior. So for them to be losing her, it's unfortunate. They will miss her. They are going to have to find someone to fill her shoes, especially with her outfield play. She did so well in the outfield, made some incredible catches. So give a shout-out to the only senior they have, and Peyton Addix. They will miss her next year. And I want to look at this team and say I feel bad for anyone who plays them next year because much like last year, there's going to be a lot of revenge on their minds this next spring. And hopefully we can see them back here and maybe even get to state. But, yeah, thank you to AD Rude, who has helped us out with the Rush City games. He's been great to us and all the ADs in our local area, not just him, specifically to him since it's his school's team that is playing here today for helping us out. And site coordinators and the region secretaries, everyone who helped us and allowed us to be here today. We appreciate it. But this one stings for Rush City. But, again, this will be something they carry with them to next spring. And, again, this is going to be – now you have sometimes you struggle to find things to learn, especially when you're having such a nice postseason like they did. This is something to learn from.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we've been talking about it off and on for the past couple weeks. If you are not ready to play softball next year in East, are in big trouble.
Yes, because these teams, and it's not just the ones that have been in the championship games. There's a lot who have some younger players that are up and coming too, and veterans who are going to be around. So the Great River Conference is going to be insanely talented next year. And our other conferences, I mean, how crazy this is going to be and how much we're going to have to keep track of this little thing here, because that's going to mean the difference in 1 seed and 4 seed next year.
I mean, we've had teams that, so we have Rush City who did fall in the section championship, but Bram didn't go to state. We have Chisago Lakes going to state as well. Those teams were pushed by the local area on more than one occasion about teams that weren't in that caliber. This area is going to be ridiculous.
It is. And to be pushed by teams that didn't make it maybe even past round 2 in the playoffs, you're saying to yourselves, hold on. Wait a minute. This is going to be borderline mind-boggling next year, just because of how much fun it's going to be and how Adam, next year we could have 4 or 5 of our local teams vying for number 1 seeds.
And we've watched Rush City and Bram win today, and there's no guarantee they'll make it to the section championship with the competition that is coming up in their sections.
Yeah, it's going to be fun next year. I can't wait. I don't like saying it, but I truly cannot wait for next spring. It is going to be a lot of fun, but there's a lot of action to get through summer-wise.
We have some state tournament action next week.
I believe it is next week. If it's not, it's the week after, but I'm pretty sure it's next week. So.
All right. So how about you wrap things up for us?
Yeah, so we obviously thank all of our fine sponsors and all of our loyal listeners. If you've tuned into this one, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube. That way you'll be notified every time we go live for the local sporting event. Obviously, stay tuned to the morning shows for more updates on local sports.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, you can do that. You can catch that on KBK Nice 95.5 with Adam Hefty in the morning at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM with Josh Murin at 7:45 and 8:45. We'll talk this game, all the other games in our local listening area, plus regional and national sports. Also, stay tuned to our websites, kbk.com, WCMPradio.com. Go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule. That's where you'll find all the links for the games that we'll be covering that week. That is subject to change. And then we'll also have articles of games that we've been at, interviews with player and coaches as well. Also, you can stay tuned to our social medias, our Facebook for both stations, Instagram for both stations, and our Twitter at WCMP Radio for more local sports. Follow, like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to stay tuned to our social medias to be up to date with the latest in local sports. Obviously, want to give a huge shout-out to all of our fine sponsors who sponsor this and every other broadcast that we do, whether it be summer, spring, winter, fall. We thank them all, not to rhyme, but and then obviously to you, our loyal listeners. If you're not tuning in, they tell us not to come out because no one's listening, so we appreciate you for continuing to give us a job to do. Adam Hefty, any final thoughts?
No, this has been great. It's been fun to get out of the office. It's been a long day. We're going to do it again tomorrow morning. We'll be back in studio tomorrow morning.
Yes, we will. So, obviously, thank you to Adam Hefty, who made the trip with me, made the trip up here to get us started up here. I appreciate him for doing that, and I know he's got to get up early in the morning, so we're going to get him out of here. Again, thank you to you, all our fine sponsors. For Adam Hefty, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really make their day. So, for WCMP, that's going to do it. Have a great rest of your night.
Minnesota Twins baseball.
Twins 2, Blue Jays nothing, 9th inning. The 0-2 to Varsho. He struck him out! Twins win! Twins
Every
win!
hit, home run, or strikeout on the boat, on the lawnmower, or at work. All the action is right here.
This is Royce Lewis.
This is Ryan Jeffers.